This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT in the D Show.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
Hi guys, you guys playing cards?
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hey guys, it's Ty Mock, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the IT and D Show.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT and the D. All you nerds out there.
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come. Shut up.
This is Robert Hayes, Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Turn your microphone off. Just get out.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Hey, Jerry Slater. Hey, Jerry Slater. It's really good. Hey, Johnny Slater.
The turf monster is in full effect here.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
Hello, everybody. It's Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to IT in the D.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Loaded for speed! Go!
Cross your fingers we don't have any technical difficulties. We didn't hit anybody on bikes on the ride here because the slow roll is not going on today. This is episode 52, IT and the D Show, brought to you here live in the Raw Radio Studios in Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. As always, this show is hosted by Mr. Monday Night, Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Jeff the Voice of Reason. We have a full studio in tonight. We got the guys in here from Resource Partners. We got Matt in the house. We also have Ken here from a cool app that's being built downtown, My Cheap Chimp. We're going to hop into that. If you want to reach us live, you can get to us at itandthed.com, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And we are live.
We are live. I believe we're live. Dave is searching frantically for something. I think he was going to go postal earlier. He's been here for, 4 hours
It has
now?
not been a good weekend with Dave and technology. No. It has not.
Technology is bad to you this weekend.
I was here Friday and I tried to fix things and then I was and then I was.
You know what
here.
makes things better?
That's right.
There's gonna be a whole lot of that. And then
I think he needs a bottle of scotch. Actually.
Yeah, Jameson would be outstanding right about now.
Before I forget, now that the show is brought to you by Falling Down Beer Company over on 10 Mile and Quinn and Warren, and also Valentine Distillery, located beautiful, fashionable Ferndale, Michigan. Go.
Very nice. He did that so well. We actually should turn that into a drop. Charge for that.
Oh, for the love of God! Yeah. So here Friday.
Ricky and I were here until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Were you really? You were here that long?
Oh yeah. My wife looked at me like I was an idiot when I told her I was coming down here at like 10 because I said, Rick, I said, what do you want to do? Do you want
What's her name?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's like, really? You're going to this? And I'm like, no, I'm going to the studio. And yeah. So and then thankfully as I'm in the car on 94. Ricky was already here and he checked in and tagged me in it, and she shot me a note. She was like, haha, did you pay him to tag you? Like, nice, babe, thanks.
You use that one like once a month.
Right. Well, it's like, the one you can get away with once. Hey, honey, what time are you going to be home tonight? Like 11:45, won't be a late night. And then walk in the door at 3 o'clock in the morning because 3 is 1/4 of 12.
Right. I have to go to the studio. Oh, I do.
But so we were here Friday and everything was good, and then shows happened yesterday and things were not so good. So it's kind of jankety at the moment. I have to push several buttons instead of just one to make things happen.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right. So hopefully we're all good. And yeah, if anybody out there, like Mike, you're always out there listening. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit me with a text. Do something on Facebook. Just let me know you can hear us and that we're good. I'm getting a note that says music is playing over our audio. Interesting.
Oh, fantastic.
Don't know how that would be.
Is it the Godfather rant? Bob, say something.
I don't know. It shouldn't be. All right, well, you guys discuss amongst yourselves for a moment. Oh, I know why. That's okay. So it was on, the DJ mode was on auto DJ, and because it's broken and I can't hear the breaks, yes, the break music was playing. Thank you for cluing me in. That was Matt. Thanks, Matt. So there's your drink for the night. You can go ahead and drink because we made a mistake.
So this is live tech support, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, exactly.
So do we start over? This is the IT and the D show brought to you by... Speaking of...
we're doing a lot better because we didn't actually think we were going to have a show 5 minutes ago. So.
Right. Yeah, so it's it's been interesting.
Speaking of Godfather music, HBO was lucky enough to play Godfather 2. So guess who taped it?
You haven't watched it yet?
It's halfway through.
Okay.
It's a 4-hour movie for crying out loud.
Do you actually tape things?
Yeah. DVR. Okay. No, I put it on the VCR. I put it on the Betamax. And that's only on fast forward.
Thanks, Matt. That would be a preview of our first break, and yes, that's why I did this, because this is episode 52 for those keeping score at home. And so I'm not going to lie, I tried to get all cute and come up with like all the break songs that had to do with like cards and music, but I couldn't bring myself to force either you or myself to listen to Lady Gaga Poker Face.
No.
The Gambler just makes me sad, so we weren't going to listen to The Gambler.
There's actually a new commercial that's actually really funny with Kenny Rogers. Did you
yes,
oh my
I
God,
have.
that one's awesome.
And I like Laura Branigan's Solitaire wasn't going to happen. I had Lita Ford Aces
Gloria?
and Eights. It was called Solitaire. I had Lita Ford Aces and Eights all queued up, and
Ace of Spades, Motorhead.
I had that. There's a little bit too much.
There's an Uncle Cracker Kid Rock song, Aces and Eights.
Well, and there's it's the same song.
Not on this show, you won't.
And there's what'd you call me? And
exactly.
There's a what was the other one that I found? Oh yeah, AC/DC has a great song called "The Jack," and I had the live version of that queued up, but that song would get us immediately kicked off of iTunes, not just labeled with explicit
and let me
text.
guess, it sounds like all the other songs.
It's kind of like a Good to Be a Gangster type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think every about 6 months or so, we write a blog, and it pisses off a lot of people.
Good.
And I think we finally did that, and it took a while to write this thing. But I'm so happy we did.
This is a pent-up frustration for you for a long time.
It's not a pent-up frustration. It's something that I just quite don't get. And so last week...
And I'm not going to lie, my favorite part is that the most flack he's catching is over the stuff that I added in.
So as every good blog I write, I sent it to Dave half done, and then Dave finishes it, and then it's a,
you were like, I'm not happy with this, don't send it out, or don't publish it. And I'm like, you know what, it's a good concept, let me see what I can do with it. And then I shoot it back, and he was like, yes, that.
So what he does is he tweaks it, sends it to me. What do you think? I say post it. He posts it, and you're like, wait.
So if you haven't read it, it's called Slow Rolls and 5Ks and Protests. Oh my. And
you know what really grinds my gears?
Well, it started a couple months ago when we were coming down to the studio, and we almost hit like all these people on Schwinn's because they don't stop at the red lights. Like, dude, I almost hit someone on a bike. Jeff's like, oh my God, I almost hit someone on a bike too. We're like,
and why are there suddenly all these cars in the 3rd Street parking lot?
Right, with bike racks.
Right,
and that was for I think they did it for for fireworks that day, right?
Yeah.
But then I was
That's
here-
when they were all here.
Yeah,
But
they were using the Russell as like a staging center for their mass
Schwinning.
takeover. Yeah, exactly.
but then I go. I think the last time I brought the Cadillac down here on a Monday, when I went to the baseball game,
Yeah.
remember there's like 2,000 people on Schwinn's in Campus Martius, and I'm like, what in the blue hell is all this going on? So I'm like, wait a minute, all these people from the suburbs put their bikes on their racks in their cars, then they drive down here, and then they all ride around, then they all ride their bikes around the city.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is a thing.
Well, and like I said, so the equivalent to me is, okay, you drive around the parking lot at the gym to make sure you get a close parking space so you don't have to walk as far. Einstein, if you want to ride your bike where you are.
But it goes back
And-
to what I said. I get riding bikes.
Uh-huh.
I get community.
It's all about appearances.
Uh-huh.
I get community.
Uh-huh.
I get
charity.
I get charity.
Charity, all about it.
Did they
I
get a
don't
T-shirt?
I don't get selfies. No, they don't get T-shirts, but they can buy one on the website.
And where does that money go?
To the people that said, let's ride bikes. Ridiculous. And
can I be those
I
people?
get all that, but like,
Yeah, well, how come we weren't selling T-shirts when we were 12? Hey, man,
Exactly.
you want to ride bikes up to the store?
Tell you what,
and we
tell
can
you,
get
if you can make a beer run for us and wear this T-shirt,
right.
But to do it all together, I don't even get when there's like 20. You live on my side of town, Matt, right? Like in Rochester Hills. You ever see like those 30-10 speed guys like on Adams or Hamlin
that think
like,
they're in the Tour de France?
Yeah, they all got the Wonder Bread
Oh,
shirts.
sorry,
and
the Tour de France.
The
They
Smurf-
have the shirt. They have the aerodynamic helmet.
Exactly.
And they are very cool.
well, you can see them from space because they glow in the dark, right? Their shirts are so bright.
No, that's snow gear, and I'm convinced that snow gear is extremely bright. So just because
Avalanche.
the Rangers are lazy, they just want to be able to find you under the snow when an avalanche hits. Yeah,
I live 100 feet from the Clinton River Trail. I get riding bikes, but like, why? Like, let's
again ride your bikes where you are.
Well, not only
Hey,
that, but
you
a
know
good portion of it is like obey some of the laws, obey some of the street signs.
No. I get not obeying traffic laws in Detroit. We get it.
Well,
That's right. that makes perfect sense to me. But I not a huge fan.
But that was like to the 5Ks. Like, we're going to do a 5K. Like, why don't you just do it now? And why are you waiting for this weekend? Because you get a fancy purple T-shirt
that you'll never wear again.
Never wear, and you get to take a selfie with your friends going,
who will
"Wee!"
all in your T-shirts that none of you will ever wear again.
Like, we're going to Tough Mudder. It's like, why don't you just go to the junkyard and run around in that crap? Like, what I don't like.
You're running the swamp behind my house.
You can do it
Exactly.
now. You can do it right now.
That's what I mean. So instead of it's the other way. So instead
that guy
of
makes like $300,000 a race.
Oh yeah. So instead of going
Wasn't there a
downtown,
variation of that on Shark Tank?
Yeah. There's because everyone
wants to do it. They know there's money in
that
it.
clown makes $300,000 a race.
Right, exactly.
Did you know they shocked people at the end of one of those races?
They do not.
No.
They did, yes.
Like there
was something
you
you had to
up to
crawl
people
through
that-
it or something, and there was these shocks that go into these people. You had to sign a waiver or something at the beginning.
Here, come here. Here, rather than have a beer, I'm going to just shock you with a cattle prod.
I'm like, now that sounds like the race that we would run.
Cattle prod.
No, that's the only way that we
You
can
pay
get
us
Bob to
you
do
pay
that.
us an entry fee, and we tase you.
But I realize that like all these the slow roll and the 5Ks, it's just an excuse to take a selfie and post it on Facebook and go, look at me, I'm doing something with other people.
No, in the city.
In the city, right? Like, go to Comet and have a drink and ride your 10-speeder on the block,
And not all at once.
And don't
Not all at once.
Well, your whole point is proven. Like, how many slow rolls do you see in Troy?
none.
0.
because people would hit them in their cars,
Right.
And for some reason it's like, wait, I'm sitting at a green light and there comes like 30 bikes. Like, you can't stop at the damn.
Yeah, you're not a funeral procession. You don't have the right of way.
Yeah,
it
where's
doesn't
the
work.
purple flag?
Yeah.
You have gold Schwinns though, man.
Cool.
Like,
But
I want
are you
someone
getting shocked while you're riding your gold
Nah, I'd love to.
It's,
Can I
it's
be the
called
kettle prod guy?
The electroshock therapy is Tough Mudder's most shocking obstacle. Bidding participants run through a field of live wires. ...
And you stand in a pool of
Why?
water.
Again, why? Yeah, exactly.
Well, and what didn't we talk about that? Like, oh God, like 2-3 months ago, where like half the participants in one of those races got sick because of E. coli contamination in the mud.
Oh yeah, because they pooped in
Yeah,
the water.
it wasn't really mud.
Probably what happened. They got shocked and crapped themselves.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God! All right, what's going on in tech? We're done with this
Oh,
crap.
God, we have so much fun stuff to talk about. So the one thing that you were all excited about, and I have to admit, I sat down and watched it.
This was awesome.
I don't feel a need to kill anybody yet, the new Mad Max trailer.
It looks fantastic.
I'm not going to lie. This is probably the first remake,
I'm bouncing my chair.
reboot
Yeah, Bob is actually so excited. He's like,
that I don't feel the need to stab somebody over.
So do you want to know the only thing that it's okay, so the original guy that did the original Mad Max is doing it.
Right.
It's not a J.J. Reddick or whatever. Not
Abrams. Yeah, there won't be a whole lot of lens flare.
Thank God. Well, how can you do it in the desert?
And it's not Michael Bay.
I wasn't
so the lizards won't explode.
Right.
The 79 version, like the guy that's played Toe Ripper, like he's actually in the new one. He's like the guy that has the Bane mask on the front of the truck.
Okay.
So like, all right, this is all right. He's
little homage. You're doing it right.
A couple little.
Well, what's
homages.
interesting is I was reading up on it after we posted the trailer that what's the guy's name? George Miller, the guy that did the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Apparently, he one of his good buddies passed away during the making of Beyond Thunderdome, and he got really disillusioned with making those movies and that whole genre that he had created, and he stepped away. He didn't even finish doing that movie, which is why it's more of a Americanized version. Tina Turner, a la whatever. So it surprised me that he was actually behind this new reboot.
They should mix.
Well, he's had 20 years to get over it.
Pretty much, yes.
They should have Mel Gibson in it, and they should have him abduct his son, and then he'll go, "Give me back my son."
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
For the love of God, I hope that Gibson doesn't make a cameo.
Really? He could talk to the 5 girls that are in white robes and call them all sugar tits. Why?
Is that, why not?
Well, what movie did they remake? Oh, it was the Planet of the Apes, where Charlton Heston did a cameo in the ape costume. I swear to God, if Gibson shows up as one of the bad guys in this, as a cameo,
and if they're smart, they won't tell anybody that it happens ahead of time. It won't be the Darth Maul debacle where all the cool stuff about Episode 1 we already knew walking into the theater.
How about we just don't tell Mel Gibson they're making the movie?
No, I mean,
right.
How old is Mel Gibson now?
Just
70?
CGI him in.
How old is he? 70?
Why not?
We have the technology.
They should have Master Blaster and Mel Gibson in their 70s, just arguing,
sitting around on a front porch somewhere,
and arguing,
playing cribbage, smoking cigarettes.
These damn kids and their souped up hot rods.
You damn kids, get off my desert!
That's why we don't
get off my desert.
That was my lizard. I called that lizard.
Who run Bartertown? Not you anymore, you old bastard.
Not you. I got enough gas to run Bartertown, but I don't run Bartertown.
Next. Stupid.
All right, so, wow, that voice hurts.
I don't really know.
No, so a couple of things I want to make sure we hit on. So we had our event a couple weeks ago. We didn't really talk about this last week at the Blackfin. Destroyed the place. It was awesome. Hands down, one of the most packed, solid events we've had in a long time.
Agreed.
Our next event like that is August. I wrote it down just to be safe. It is August 21st. We're heading up a little bit north. We're going to be at Cicerelli's, the old Post Bar, I believe.
That is correct.
Yep, out across from
You're
the
correct,
Palace.
sir.
Yes.
What does he win?
Out across from the Palace. So
are we going upstairs or are we staying downstairs? I forgot to ask.
I don't think there's room downstairs.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Is there an
I'll
elevator?
ask him.
Yeah. We're ADA compliant.
It's a good story about that I'll get to in a sec. But then the other event that's going on that I wanted to make sure everybody knew about, because there does seem to be a lot of interest about it, on Thursday the 14th in the morning, starting at 9 a.m., Brightwing and New Horizons reached out and said, hey, we're doing this job skills interviewing thing for IT folks.
Resume 101.
Yep. Can you want to help out? Do you want to get the word out? What do you want to do? So you've probably heard us talk about what we do with MEDC and shifting gears with the 10 Commandments of Networking / the 10 Commandments of Job Search. I'm not quite sure which one we're going to wind up doing. I think it's probably going to be Job Search.
I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
But we'll figure it out as we go.
What day is it again?
Thursday the 14th.
August.
We'll send you a memo.
2014?
Yes. Given that it's the 28th, it was 2 weeks ago, Bob, and you missed it.
Just checking.
Right. We're going to do it 2 years from now.
Wow.
It's 2016.
I can't wait.
I'm thinking ahead.
Dave, we actually know he'll be there then.
Right.
You can plan ahead.
I did see a meme and said, the decision that you're making, if nobody came back from the future to stop you, how bad could it really be?
So that pretty much explains your entire existence.
Exactly.
Story of, if future me didn't come back to stop present me from doing it, must be okay.
Right.
We're just going to go with that.
Right. So, so August 4th, and all of those events are out. Everything that we do is out at our website, itandthed.com.
We've been tweeting the heck out of that one.
Facebook.com /itandthed, meetup.com /itandthed. Yeah, exactly. And then the one that we haven't added out there yet that I need to, that we're just starting to get the ball rolling on, our next Pink Slip party will be Thursday, September 18th. We are, just use the word shifting gears. We're going to be shifting gears a little bit here. We are going to move away from St. Andrews Hall, and I think, I know, and I think
stop the presses.
I'm happy with it.
We're giving people.
Yeah, this is actually a good thing.
We're giving people a month and a half of notice to figure it out, not to show up at St. Andrews Hall.
Where's the event?
For the love of God, if you show up at St. Andrews,
I'm putting the over under at 15.
Probably.
So we're going to be.
And you know what? I'm better. We're going to get complaints.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Majestic. So we think it's a cooler venue. We think it's it's still downtown.
Midtown. Parking's $5,
right?
So it's cheaper.
No surprises there. So
and
you
it's
heard
secured.
It here first.
And the good news is that I believe we've already got their agreement to get Valentine and Falling Down Beer Company in there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a done deal.
And we're gonna have Sergeant Pepperoni Pizza for food. So yeah, that should be. And we got
local.
And we got more room.
Right. So we actually just updated and refreshed our sponsor kit, and we are, as per usual with our Pink Slip parties, we've got all the information out there for companies that want to get their faces in front of, God, we've been as high as 800 plus people at our events at St. Andrews Hall, and that was kind of one of the other reasons why we moved. Is kind of like the old Blackfin, Bastogne
downstairs of whatever that place is.
Yeah, and post Bar Novi, we kind of outgrew it, and so it's time to try something new and different.
Well, if you want, it's laser focused IT talent. If you want to, it's not like you have to weed through 30 people to get to that one IT guy. It's all IT guys. Last St. Andrews event, we had ladies.
Hey,
people.
Just saying it.
IT people. Last time we had almost 650, 700 people
looking for gigs.
Yeah.
Right.
About 150
recruiters,
hiring managers looking for talent. So I mean, it's a phenomenal event. Tons of it's productive as all hell. Even though we all have a drink in our hand.
And it's all skill levels too. Entry level, senior level, mid level, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid if you're shifting gears, another pun, into the IT world, show up, if you're looking for work in the IT field.
If you read the story, we hated job fairs and knew they sucked beyond all imagination. Long cattle calls. You're not talking to the person that's hiring. You're getting postcards to go to URLs to submit your resume. Kiss my ass. We changed the game. And
you're actually going to talk to recruiters here, and it's not going to cost you anything.
And it's free.
Well, and by the way, recruiters, you're going to talk to people who are looking for jobs, and it probably won't cost you anything unless you want to have a decent presence there. So
take it back. The parking is $5, but we're not going to charge you anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's coming up Thursday, September 18th. So check out the site again. It's itandthed.com. Our sponsors link is right up there at the top. You can check it out, read the kit, find out all about our demographic and what we got going on. The other thing that's out there at the top at that top nav is people have been nagging the ever living hell out of us about buying an IT and the D shirt, which cute Bob's wearing. And so we did. We went as you know. Bob and I have a little off the side obsession with wrestling, and the wrestling guys were setting up a T-shirt store.
A little obsession.
It is what it is. Don't yeah. And
do you want me to get into it?
No, not really. That's what she said. And so then we've got our shirt out there. But anyway, the moral of the story is if you go to our site, itandthed.com, one of the links up there says buy a shirt. Click through, buy a shirt. Life's good.
I don't really know what that was, but that's pretty
Coco
good.
Beware.
Oh, the bird.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, so you can buy a shirt. All that other fun stuff is out there. What did we want to yak about? The fun one that I think had everybody up in arms, or at least all the social media people up in arms, and I was kind of mocking them. Was
it's not hard to do.
Well, no. So a guy apparently wanted to. He had some sort of advanced boarding thing with Southwest, and so he got up to the gate and he wanted to not just board himself with his little pass, but he wanted to board his entire family with him.
Oh, is this the link I sent you where he got escorted off the plane?
Yeah. And
spoiler alert, Jeff. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the spoiler.
Yeah.
So
he gets. It's
the reason why.
Yeah. They basically tell him no, and so he gets on and he fires. He's like, well, and he does while he's at the gate. He's like, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to complain and I'm going to tell everybody.
Right.
And so they let him on the plane by himself, and he gets on the plane. And he fires up Twitter, and he basically
Pulls a Kevin Smith.
puts the agent's name in the tweet, and basically says, worst boarding experience ever out at Southwest, Lisa, whatever her name was, gate blah.
Pretty much just a hate rant.
Oh, yeah.
40 characters or less.
Right, and basically, and it's social media, so let's be real, you're basically putting a bullseye on that agent's head.
Yep.
And so the agent said she felt threatened, and so security came and escorted him off the plane and made him delete the tweet before they would let him back on.
But what's interesting, what's fascinating to me about that article is, so he's on the plane.
Yep.
His family's still sitting there.
No, he's in the plane.
Yeah, exactly. On it. I want to be in it. Right, exactly. So he sends out this tweet, and within minutes, they find it. Right, so not only...
Well, he tweeted it at Southwest, so I'm sure it's someone's job to monitor that.
Yeah, I know, but those people monitoring the account are not sitting there in the terminal.
True.
They're elsewhere, right? So somebody elsewhere calls in, finds that particular agent, says, get in the plane, not on it, get in it, find that guy and get him off the plane.
Right.
Is that justified, though?
No, I don't know.
He said a naughty tweet.
Hey, you know what? Here, this is when this conversation erupted on
It's
Facebook.
not like
you know
he
what?
said
Why don't you go ahead why don't you go ahead and sit down in a restaurant, and before you even order your food, why don't you go ahead and fire up Yelp and talk about how crappy your waitress is and how slow the service is.
But I guarantee you, the business owner
and
is,
see how well that works out for you.
Restaurants don't
the
read that
business
crap.
owner is not checking Yelp constantly.
But if they are, have a good meal.
Is that really a threat?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't know if it's a threat.
I didn't
threat
read.
Seems like a 50-cent word when a 5-cent word would have done.
Right.
Like
I'm a little ticked off. Would have been more like it.
And unfortunately, this
I'm
Southwest
threatened.
made this guy delete his tweet. So it's gone in the ether. So I don't really know what he actually said.
Oh, it got captured and retweeted and posted before it got. So I mean, it's
All
out
right.
there.
But
Kevin
was
Smith.
it threatening?
No, it
was just a rant.
Yeah,
right. Right. I mean, to your point.
That's his experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, and I can't say I disagree with the agent completely for freaking out, because it is when you put
It's a livelihood.
Well, no, not only that, dude.
It's customer service. I mean, how many people are pissed off at Southwest
But you know
now?
the internet, and the internet is what it is. And as soon as you throw somebody's name out there on social media with a negative connotation to it,
Did
that
he use
this
their last
person,
name?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
That this specific person sucks, and they're at this gate, at this terminal, at this airport.
It's a little much, huh?
Yeah. That
I said across the bound, up it.
Exactly.
Well, we talk about there being freedom of speech all the time, but we also
you
talk
can't
about,
yell fire in a theater.
But we also talk about
right.
You have freedom of speech, but I also have freedom to
change the channel,
ignore you,
or to fire back,
and to tell you to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is what Southwest did, and I can't really disagree with them.
It was kind of weak. It's kind of weak sauce, though. If you're gonna kick someone off the plane, at least make it a big deal. Not like service sucks.
Well, but don't be the guy. I'm gonna tell Twitter. What are you, 11? I'm calling mom.
Right. That's
really?
That's the online version of what he did.
Yes.
Really.
That's what I'm saying. If you say like, "Hey man, it smells like dog shit on the plane," and this guy's got stinky feet and screws out. If you're making up libel, then yeah, kick him off. But if you just complain about bad service and kick them off, that's weak sauce.
The whole
That's
thing's
weak
subjective.
Sauce. It's little kids.
What else?
Both of them are little kids.
What else we got?
Did you guys? Okay, well, we're coming up on a break, so I'm going to get to the one that I want to talk about, and then we can get back to the other stuff later. So Ebola in Africa.
That kind of scares
and
the shit
Liberia
out of me.
has now closed its borders, and 2 Americans who went over there to help out have now been infected.
Yeah.
The chief doctor has now been infected. They said this is the worst Ebola outbreak they've seen ever.
It was the front page of Drudge Report today that it's Ebola is one airline passenger away from hitting the United States.
Oh, it always has been. I mean, that's that was the whole thing. Like when the Hot Zone, when that book came out, I still remember.
Yep.
I was riding the metro in D.C. because when it happened in Reston, I was riding, and it like buried on like page 18B, column 4, bottom of the page. There's
Try not to do panic.
Right. There's this little thing about Ebola-ridden monkeys, escape from facility. Wait, what?
Every time I hear Ebola, do you remember when the E Network was funny when they had Greg Kinnear and all that?
Yeah.
And they had a commercial for like their own cola, and it was called
E. Cola.
So like, doesn't that make my intestines smell? They're like, no, that's Ebola. This is E. Cola. I tried to look out for that commercial on YouTube for years, can't find it.
But yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, that's one of those things
scary
where,
stuff.
like, and you know me, like every couple of years, I get into this whole obsessive fascination with how are we going to end ourselves as a species.
Yeah.
So between the smallpox that they found in some abandoned warehouse back cabinet office space that nobody knew was there, now you've got Ebola running rampant. It's bizarre. Not happy.
That's the type of stuff that's scary because you can't see it. You can't. There's no way that you have it until it's too late.
Right. Well, and that's it's like 99 point whatever % fatal. So
I mean, just like the movie. I mean, art imitating life.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's good about this, if you can call it good, is it has such a rapid.
It's a 7-day burnout.
Yeah, I mean that's why it doesn't spread as fast as
Yep.
it could. So,
all right, we're up on a break. We'll be back with Matt from Resource Partners. This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back. Hopefully.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D Show.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 52. I got that one right. I had to think about that for a minute. This is the IT.
You can drink on the technicality, Matt.
This is the IT and the D Show here
But
at the
he
Robert
stopped
Eric
himself anyway.
Studios in the Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. As always, the show is brought to you by Falling Down Beer Company, Valentine Distillery. We are enjoying their fine products in the studio. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with David Geek, Jeff the Voice Reason.
We are?
We are not.
We are
I
not.
thought I'd say that.
My fault. I forgot to go
Yeah.
there Saturday.
We're not.
Epic
yeah.
fail.
No video in the studio. So
You were kind of preoccupied with the soundboard.
Right.
We could say we're on
yeah,
the roof.
Captain Soundboard was trying to fix the soundboard.
Right, exactly.
We could say we're on the roof and no one will know any different.
Right.
No, don't say that because then we'll get kicked out of here.
But yeah, just if you guys want to find us online, itinthed.com.
Facebook.com/IT in the D, Twitter.com @IT in the D.
And we're the only ones that are IT in the D, not them. Just
Pretty
so,
much, yeah.
just
right.
So
We
they
didn't.
know.
We didn't rebrand.
We didn't rebrand. No,
We're
no.
still here.
Yep.
Doing what we love to do.
Screw those guys.
That's right.
Going home. Let it die.
Moving
All right,
on.
so let's go ahead and dive in with our guests here. So Matt, and it's Loria.
Yep.
Okay. With Resource Partners. And so what is it? So I took a look out at the website, at the Facebook page, that kind of stuff, and it seems like you guys deal with a lot of systems at the end of the life, at the end of the life cycles, proper disposal, that kind of stuff, software licensing. So I mean, what is it that Resource does?
Well, let me chime in real quick because I've known you for 12 years, almost 10 or
12
12 years.
Yeah, Chris just asked me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When I first met you, I think you guys were just a disposal unit for old PCs, right? Or your warehouse full of CRT monitors, and you guys are
In other words,
repurposing-
Dave's basement.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Hey, you could give those all to i3. Oh wait, no, they said they don't want it anymore.
But yeah, you guys are almost like a disposal center for used PCs, but you guys have completely changed your business model and have kind of reborn and rebirthed. So kind of give an update of what's going on with Resource and what you're doing today.
Yeah, so you're right, Bob. We were a disposal company for a number of years, and we decided about 3 years ago consciously that wasn't making the impact that we wanted to make, especially within our customers. We were at the end of the life of the computer,
Right.
and we'd have all this great advice, and they'd say, "Well, the ship's already sailed. The stuff's already gone." So we said, hey, we need to get above this. We need to be able to see the whole life cycle and then advise accordingly. So that's what we did, and really all of our relationships now are with the C-suite, the senior VPs of the company, and we're working with those guys to help them map out kind of a current state of what they're doing today, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and making
So taking
recommendations.
a step back into the process and advising what to do.
Exactly.
Towards
yeah.
the end of the life, as opposed
well,
to
not even just
receiving.
not even just the end of life. All the way from the time that they're actually requesting an item, all the way through when they're getting rid of it. So,
Okay.
But it's funny how that's what I do. That's my message when I for my day job, right? Is life cycle management. It's amazing how many people don't think of that. How long are you going to keep that Nexus 7000 switch in your data center?
Until it dies.
Right, exactly. 3 years, 4 years. What maintenance is going to cost if you keep it for 6?
Sure.
What are you doing? And it's funny how many people don't think of that as part of the part of technology acquisition is the life cycle. And it's a huge portion of it.
Well, and there's people like you that actually have the advice. We don't have the advice of how long you should necessarily keep something per se. So we're not the technologist.
Well, we look at it too. Like if you look at blade servers, right? That chassis might sit in there for 6 years, but you might be swapping those blades out every 2.
Right.
So, but then what are you doing about it after? Again, how are you tailing your maintenance? And are you keeping in old technology? Are you paying crappy leases? There's so many different things that revolve around life cycle management.
Yeah. You watch the finances around it, and you see that people are paying maintenance on an item that was disposed 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Are you going into a lot of clients or customers, and it's educating them, and like their eyes just go wide, like oh
yeah,
my
right.
gosh,
Yeah, the first thing we do is we go and we do a workshop with them and say,
Okay.
hey, look, here's where we're seeing the issues and the common
the money going out the
the
window.
common money's going out the window.
Yeah.
And when they say, well, how much are you talking? We show them how much money we're talking.
Sure.
Then the eyes light up and they say, oh, we want you to come in here. We need your help.
Matt, have you ever read the book Consumption Economics?
No, I haven't.
I bought
Neither
the book.
has Bob. He's never read a book.
I can't read.
Maybe.
Yeah, Bob's read The Gas We Pass.
Cliff Notes, yeah.
And Everybody Poops. Those are the books Bob's read.
I read those.
It's on his Facebook profile. Those are the 2 books Bob's read.
I did. So consumption economics. So the cloud kind of Dave. I'm ignoring Dave because he's right. But really, what consumption economic revolves around is kind of what cloud is, right? Where you're paying on a what I'm using per user. It's kind of what Citrix tried to be 12 years ago, but never materialized to be. And cloud kind of changed that to get into a consumption model. But now, getting into the LAN, the server environment, like the hard environment, not just cloud, getting into that consumption model is completely changing, I guess, companies, getting them into a cash flow positive situation where, sorry, I don't mean to keep talking, but where technology is you're not just buying technology, but you're doing stuff that impacts your business, right? And that's kind of what the whole point of technology was, right?
Sure.
Not just like, hey, I bought the coolest toy. It's like, well, how's this impacting your business?
Right.
And that's kind of what consumption. I highly recommend. I'll give you my copy actually if you want.
Again, never even been opened.
The binder's not been creased.
But it's a good book to send even
Still
to
shrink wrapped, actually.
Even to send to your customers, Matt. It's an $8 Amazon book.
I was just gonna probably still in the box from Amazon when it showed up on his front door.
He's just gonna change the shipping label.
I'm ignoring you because it's true.
So I guess that's a good question. And that is with so many questions, and we've talked about this from like a web app and developer perspective. The days of, hey, give me $3 million and I'll build you a cool website are so long gone.
Oh, sure.
But
Razorfish.
Right, but you build, give me $3 million and I'll build you an app that'll save you $40 million. That's
Now
something
you're
people
talking.
will talk about.
Sure.
So, like when you go into these places, what is that conversation like? Do you deal with a lot of what are you just the latest snake oil salesman that's coming along? Is it where's how does that conversation go?
It's a little eye opening for the folks that we're talking to because it has to be built on trust first because we're about to come in and probably expose a whole lot of overspend, right? We're about to expose a whole lot of waste. So it takes somebody.
So you tend to come in through finance, not IT.
We come in. we come in through both. Yeah, we come in through both. But
what?
I think you could ring.
You went over my helmet.
You can ring that bell. Yeah. But yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. In fact, sometimes we make friends in high places, and we tick a whole lot of other people off because we'll tell our message to the person, and they're afraid of exposing their problem. So it takes a change agent. It takes somebody who's really the Renaissance CIO or the Renaissance IT executive who's willing to say, hey, you know what, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Yep.
And most of the time what ends up happening is if we relate the savings back to the business impacts and where that waste is occurring, it starts to resonate, and then they trust us to come in and do what it is that we do.
So, what is I'm sure whether it differs whether it's small, medium, large companies, but so how long does one of those engagements go? Do you have to go in and do just a full audit on everything that's up and running? Is it?
We do. So we do what we call an assessment and workshop, and that usually takes 3 or 4 days on site with the all the stakeholders. So
Right.
all the people who are kind of touching it. So IT, finance, some facilities folks, procurement, all of those groups, and then we go away for a few weeks after all of the information that we've gathered and put together a big report that says, hey, here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, and here's the financial impact in terms of dollars.
You have 470 licenses of Microsoft Me.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You are the
a lot
Department
of
of Public Schools in Detroit.
Yeah.
So that's a good. What's the oldest, crappiest crap you found in like this year's in doing an audit? I need to know. You don't have to name any names, but except for the products.
Well, last year we saw an app, not an Apple, but the Next.
Oh yeah!
Oh really?
One of the original Nexts.
Yeah. So we actually snagged that for ourselves. So that's in the museum.
That's on eBay now.
No.
Right.
It's not for sale. It's not for sale.
Hey, the Next is what the World Wide Web was built on.
That's right.
Well, awesome. That's very cool. That's a nice find.
I think somebody unplugged it and gave it to us.
I know once upon a time, a buddy of mine was the computer book buyer for a really large book company that's based in Ann Arbor, and it made me laugh. Once a month he would call me up and be like, "Dude, because he would get free samples, like he'd get free copies of the books, and like once a month he would call me up and be like, "Dude, my office is full. Bring a box, get down here, clean me out,
Come
go."
take some books.
And so, like the first time I went down, and he walks me down to his office, and there's this like closet open. And I kind of peek in, and there's just desktop computers as far as the eye can see.
Mm-hmm.
And on the wall where the light switch would be, there's a mound of about like 3 inches of duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at him, I'm like, what's that? And he was like, oh, that's our company's website, and people kept turning off the light switch and shutting us down. So that's where the duct tape came from.
That's fantastic. My biggest sale and my biggest networking sale ever, I went in the basement, and I'm just walking around, and there's floor to ceiling of Cabletron switches. You remember that?
Oh.
It was in Terrasis bottom, so that's how long they've been around. Floor to ceiling, left to right, up and down. I go, what in the blue hell are you doing with this? He goes, you want it? I go, not only do I want it, I'll write you a big fat check to trade it in. He goes, how much you give me? And I go, I don't know. Write me a PO for $1 million and I'll give you like a $250,000 check for this crap. And he goes, I'll have you the PO in the morning. I was like, that was like the quickest, easiest, dumbest sale like I ever made in my life. The guy was like, "You're gonna get rid of this crap for me?" So I can imagine you're not just saving people. You're kind of the hero getting rid of some of this crap they had no idea what to do with.
Yeah, sometimes we are. Sometimes we're surprising them, right? Because sometimes that equipment is actually a liability for them, right?
Oh, sure.
So they've got computers sitting there with live data on them that really shouldn't even be sitting in their own possession with live data. We walked into
that never happens.
We walked into a hospital
system. We just
system
talked about that last week.
Yeah,
that had floor to ceiling PCs. It was a wet floor too, so I mean everything was ruined and rusty. But here you had thousands of hard drives just sitting there, and they were more concerned about spending the $10 or whatever it cost to shred the drives.
Yeah, that type of mentality floors me. Like, people go out and buy a $700 iPhone but complain about buying a 99-cent app.
Yeah,
so, what you're talking about is at the enterprise level, the same type of mentality.
Enterprise level, yeah. It's like, well, hey, aren't you going to
that.
pay me to take this away? Well, yeah, I can pay you something for the
get
the recovery value, but it's going to cost this much in services just to fish this out of the wet basement.
Well, yeah, and by the way, have you seen the front page of the Detroit News, the Detroit Free Press, or CNN at any point in time with the latest data security leaks that are out there? Would you like to be headline material, or shall we go ahead and take care of this for you?
So Matt, how often do you recommend the cloud as a replacement?
Oh, I mean, we see the cloud as quite a good replacement in a lot of different systems.
What is it? Do you know what?
It's that thing up
it's
there.
It's apparently where everybody's sex tapes go, based on the previews that I've seen. That's right.
Cameron Diaz knows right where it's at.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the cloud. No one understands the cloud.
No, I don't.
It's like a
understand
joke
the
that
cloud.
keeps writing itself. The cloud. You just
You
say
know-
the cloud. It floats out there.
Here's what we're seeing in the
It's
cloud.
what Flash Gordon flew through. I don't know.
So if I upload a file, do I hear Hawkman dive? Or,
flush him out.
Hi, welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Hi. I don't even know if I should be serious or not.
Yeah, I don't think Bob and I actually did a good job actually preparing him at the bar.
Yeah, I was a little worried about leaving you.
The problem was that I couldn't partake in the drinking with them.
Well, see, usually it's my job to make sure that we have all the prep work and all that kind of stuff done, and I was here. So
okay.
sorry and sorry and sorry.
All right, so let me rephrase it in a very serious question.
Yes.
What percentage do you see of enterprises using the cloud versus their versus their floor infrastructure?
When Bob talks in a serious voice, it's like a foreign language that no one understands.
It's a sexy elixir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Were you just were you just possessed?
I can't take my I can't take my eyes off you.
I felt like I was on WDET for a minute.
I can't put my eyes on him. What are you talking about?
Today on the IT and the D show, we'll be talking systems reclamation.
Yes. Those clouds are like pillows.
Happy pillows.
Happy little trees.
No, but seriously. I mean, what do you see as far as like enterprises using the cloud? Are they using it for backup? Are they using it for day to day? What I mean, I know.
That's the question I was trying to ask, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, where we're seeing the cloud active in our side of the business, in the asset management side, is that there was a ton of legacy systems out there that were managing assets and were managing the service desk, and now we're seeing a really cool suite of tools going to the cloud to manage IT service management. The help desk per se, that sort of stuff.
I mean, every IT department had a system sitting somewhere that did nothing but run Nmap.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we're seeing that stuff in the cloud, and there's a whole lot better intersection now for incorporating all the financial information along with the service management information, along with all the asset, the full-on asset information. So these companies are able to keep this a lot straighter with a lot less people and a lot less systems running that.
I see the cloud almost like, we see people standing clouds up paying cash and not being able to recoup it. It's almost like it's the web hosting companies of the the mid 90s.
Sure.
It's like, well, did you have customers for it? No. You're standing up. That's great. How are you filling it? Like, you know what I mean? It's no different than shared hosting. There's just got a fancy word to it.
Yeah, the question I was going to, are a lot of these IT departments nervous about the cloud? Because out at Chrysler, they always talk about off-prem, and we're this massive
Jeff,
project.
It's no different than shared hosting back in the day. It's
I know,
it's just got a stupid word on it.
But all these internal IT departments are so used to controlling everything.
But when's
right?
the last time Chrysler used shared hosting? I mean, that's the differential that he's getting at is, okay, it's my data, I have it, it's on site, I know where it is.
They never used DR sites?
But most importantly,
really?
I control it. That's what they're nervous
No.
about. Like, even if it's elsewhere in a secure location, it's not on premise. It's not mine.
Right.
Mine. So
I know they always had to see the green blinking lights. That was a big problem. But
Yeah, well, so like on our end of the business, because what the pieces that we're seeing in the business, I'm not really looking at the infrastructure, or I should say at the data.
Right.
Like, I'm not looking at Chrysler's engineering drawings, right?
Sure.
I'm looking at data from a company that's saying we have 20,000 computers that we're managing, and we're over utilizing we're over licensed on Adobe something suite.
No, yeah, I understand
and
that,
things like
but
and
I mean,
for
but-
that, they seem really okay now with moving that information off prem, because there's not a whole lot of proprietary information that really needs to be secure. So there's certainly a little disruption in the IT department when that happens, because somebody's going, hey, that server over there that manages our BMC Remedy or whatever their system is that's doing it, they're going, don't take that away from me.
Yeah.
And the company wants to go to, say, a ServiceNow or something in the
don't
cloud.
take away my whoopee.
Yeah, don't take away my whoopee.
We just got a couple.
You move my stapler.
We just got a couple tweets. The first rule of cloud is you do not talk about cloud.
Right, that's the other one.
The other one is soft cloud, warm cloud, little ball of gas. I'm going to use that one from now on.
Nice. Is that from Sheldon?
Blue Robin.
Oh, Sheldon.
Right, exactly.
No, but so I mean that, like, when you talk about, when it comes to Blue Cross Blue Shield, hospitals, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's I think where you have probably a little bit higher level of concern.
All the compliance issues,
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the systems we're looking at aren't really managing Social Security
Critical type
numbers
stuff,
and
yeah.
things like that.
Not a POS machine underneath somebody's desk.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, this is managing the 20,000 laptops that are out in the environment and figuring out, have they been taken off the books? Are they under the right maintenance contract? Are they being
are they depreciated out?
Are they depreciated out? Are they cycling them out every 4 years? Or are they holding on to them and then dumping them in the basement? All of those types of things, and that's where all of that they're spending so much money and so many cycles of time chasing this equipment around when they could actually be helping their own internal customer stay up and keep their computer running.
So the plan that you come up with, do you keep it, or do you make it? Do the companies make it their own and they implement it, or do you partner with them long term? Okay,
yeah,
so you got both scenarios.
So both, yeah. So we do what's called the program management. After we've done the assessment, written out the plan, we can either turn over the keys of the kingdom to them,
Gotcha.
and they can run it, and we can even check up on it to do wellness checks throughout.
Very cool.
Or we can run the entire program, and they can offshore, or I should say outsource.
Yeah,
because we're not using offshore. No.
Yeah.
Check. Rewind.
We're local.
We'll edit that in post.
We're using Detroit labor.
All right.
That's it. No, we're coming up on a break, actually. Is there anything else? How do we find you?
Oh, you can find me.
Oh, that's going to be on the
okay,
drop now.
never mind.
No, too late.
Okay.
I know you got your resource partners, but you have a hyphen.
Yeah, we're re-source partners with
you couldn't get the.
No, there was some financial asset management firm.
Oh my God!
What about .co?
.co. I think we'll go with that. Yeah.
.bike.
.bike. .computer. Asset.
What are some of those
IT
other
asset management.
top level domains that are out
Oh,
there
that was I'd shot Bob and I'm like, there's another reason to hate slow roll.
.bike.
They use .bike.
The only one. The only one.
Well, you can find me at Starbucks in the morning.
There you go.
You can find me somewhere in Troy for lunch in
There
the
you go.
afternoon.
And read-sourcepartners.com.
Read-sourcepartners.com.
And we'll have all the links because I found your
Yeah.
Facebook page and your website. We'll have all that stuff in the recap when we go live tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll be back with Ken from the Cheap Chimp app, and this is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT and the D Show. No mercy.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
Welcome back. Segment 3, episode 52, the IT and the D Show here in the Raw Radio X Studios in the Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, here with Dave the Geek, Jeff, the voice of reason. We had a great conversation with Matt from Resource Partners talking about. That's our first time we've talked about that. Actually, is life cycle management, asset management.
It is.
It's
seriously.
Yeah,
it actually is. Yeah.
It's a sexy conversation. Isn't it?
I tell you. Well, no, it's something to think about, right? Everybody talks about selling crap, but what about what do you do with it when you're done with it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you can find us at itandthd.com, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. We had a couple cool tweets we just read. Feel free to shoot us out. But yeah, we got Ken here who built an app.
Yeah, so Ken Jones, and I've gone and taken a look at the app, and I went and took a look at I couldn't get to the site, but I took a look at your Facebook page. So yeah, everybody's always interested in saving money. I mean, let's be real. That's a huge thing that's on a lot of people's minds 24/7. And your app does a pretty decent job at here's things that you want to do and things that you already do that you can save money doing.
Yes. I mean, I designed the app really for myself. That was really the main purpose of that, and hopefully, there are a lot of people out there like myself that can benefit from the app. There's opportunity. Basically, it's a mobile app. Well, I like to refer to it as a lifestyle app.
Okay.
To where it's not intruding on signing up with 100 surveys and spamming yourself with a bunch of sign-ups. It's basically a mobile
Please
app.
click one of these 4,000 check boxes that you would like to receive information on.
No.
And you may get a discount.
Yeah, you might get mailed to your house.
Yeah, I honestly, I just went through that last night because Anita's taking the kids with her mom up to Birch Run later this week, and so the whole they have a VIP shopper program, and so you go to their site, and you'd sign up with your email address, and literally, here's the list of 8,000 check boxes that we want. Here's all the different stores that we have.
Yeah.
No.
But just to be clear, Ken's app does not do this.
No, it does not do that.
Right.
And it's strictly mobile. A lot of people, I sometimes get emails where they're asking, where do I print it out at? And it's like, no, it's actually just show and go. You show it to your restaurant server. You show it to your cashier, and you get the discount. And it's really just that simple and that easy.
So are those guys plugged in though? Like
so what's the catch?
I'm thinking of servers. I use Yelp coupons, and the servers look at me like I'm speaking Russian.
Yelp what?
Coupons.
Thank you.
It's a coupon. I use like Yelp redeem stuff, and they look at me like I'm speaking Russian. Like,
but is it the same type of thing? Is it not?
Yeah, it's basically embedded right into the app.
Okay.
So it's almost like really just a JPEG of the manufacturer's coupon. A lot of people ask that.
Got it. That makes sense.
Okay,
now.
yes, I was going to ask. So, I mean, is this something that you're going out and you're hunting down with these places, or are you kind of an aggregator for the information that's out there?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. I have some resources that will put it on there automatically for me.
Okay.
But then I also physically, search myself daily to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
To the best of my ability.
Okay, so I mean, and I would think that would be like, so I mean, I didn't get that deep into it. I mean, do you have, just from a revenue perspective, I mean, do you have the opportunity to do like a featured deal of the day, or
Absolutely.
is it, so I mean, that's like, how does that work when you're out, if you're just hunting things down or pulling this stuff all together? Like, what kinds of things are out there that people want to be taking a look at?
We built a Facebook community, or a social media community, I should say.
Yeah, and you've got several hundred likes out there, which, yeah.
And all word of mouth. No advertising on the Cheap channel. This is strictly, word of mouth growth. But basically, I feedback from my audience on what they like, and I basically cater to that. It
What a
depends on-
novel concept.
Right.
That's crazy.
Started out by solving his own problem. Now he's solving.
Are you the
people's.
Cheap Chimp app on Facebook?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You got 600. Oh, I'm 666 like.
Oh yeah, we got it.
Oh
We got
no.
and you're done.
Wait, let me correct that. I'll be 667.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, so like I said, I mean, so what kind of stuff is your demographic, currently interested in? Like, what's out there that people want to be paying attention to?
It seems to be more of an urban group. That's where I get a lot of. There are multiple components to it. There's a contest section that a lot of people like, and we've been fortunate enough to give out free concert tickets.
Yeah, I've noticed those. Yeah.
A lot of major events at least once a month. Lions season is coming up, so I know we'll have a stack of Lions tickets. Pistons, we'll have a stack of those to give out.
Nobody wants to go to those. Right. Lions, Pistons, what?
But, so it usually tailors to moms, of course. Generally women demographic, 21 to 35 is the most popular.
That's the big revelation that's hit, the internet for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 years or so was, yeah, guess what? You keep trying to appeal to the 18 to 45-year-old male, but it's the 23 to 45-year-old female that actually controls the purse strings.
And I'm trying to get the guys to see that this is a potential great date tool.
Yeah.
To where you can go and you can have a
quietly.
I'm like, you can't use a coupon on a date.
No,
We'll edit that in post.
Hey, we're going somewhere good tonight, baby. I got a BOGO coupon for Chili's.
Can we use your credit card?
I got 2 for 1 at Sizzler.
I
like
Sizzler. That is discreet. You show your phone, and you get your discount, and you keep it going. But there's opportunities.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go hit the bathroom for a sec.
Yeah,
exactly. Can you scan this real quick?
But there's also opportunities. There's a section for free stuff, for free events and free activities. One example would be this weekend is the Detroit Lions open practice.
Oh, yeah.
That's an opportunity to take the family. They'll have bounce houses, face painting, maybe a chance to meet some of the athletes.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, anybody with kids is seriously looking for things to do with them at this time of year in the summer because they're home and driving people crazy.
Yes. No. And look, you can
Really?
make it even
Would you like me
sweeter.
to quote your Facebook post from the other day, Bob?
I swear to
My
God.
wife, her sister, and all 3 daughters are
Hold
in the
on.
kitchen.
Time out real quick. I'm in a house full of women, and not just on. I have 3 daughters and my wife, right? So it's bad enough. So her mom and her sister come over too. So there's 6 like women, 5 women and a baby in the kitchen, and it was the
Wait, is that why the neighbor's dog was squealing?
It woke me up at like
This
quarter
is 2
to
in the
10.
afternoon. Yeah.
I've never heard something so loud in my life. I'm like, I come downstairs, I go, you guys are standing a foot apart, like you're yelling at the top of your lungs. I've never heard anything like this in
And
my life.
nobody's listening.
No,
it's kind of like the show.
It's insane,
and it's all in Polish.
It was it's like half Polish. I'm like, what do you? Yeah, like anyway.
But yeah, so to that point, I mean, like I said, yeah, I mean, we've all got kids, and we're all looking for stuff to do with them. So I mean, that's cool. You've got a free activity section and that kind of stuff.
Right, there's like free bowling, free hockey. Again, with this weekend, you could go to the Lions, and then right around the corner, you can go to Long John Silver's or any Long John Silver's in the area. They
Those
have
still exist?
They have
They do.
free fish and free fries on this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3
Who
p.m.
does? Dude, I used to go to those when I was living in Virginia. I didn't even know they were still around anymore.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen a lot. Where are they?
There's one in Allen Park. The one I go to is right there in Rochester Hills off of Rochester Road.
Which one? Which one?
Huh?
What? Wait,
A Long John Silver's?
Where's there a Long John Silver's on Rochester?
Just past Auburn. Just past Auburn.
I
Road.
live on-
It's right by KFC.
I
It's
live
attached
there.
to the KFC.
Get out it. I'm gonna eat
It's
hush
on
puppies till I
Rochester Road?
die.
Rochester Road. Right with the KFC.
That's closer to me than you.
On Auburn?
On
No,
Rochester.
On Rochester. Just north of Auburn.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yep, right by the
There's a-
KFC.
How did
Right
I
across
not?
from the dealership.
I'm gonna go there tomorrow. Give me 150 hush puppies to go.
I'll be right back.
No, that'll be Bob. You can 150. I need 12 dozen hush
Well,
puppies.
Dave, we know
for here to go. Line them up.
Bring me a hush puppy every 15 minutes until I pass.
That's right. Until I have a heart attack, and then one every 7.
I was in Kentucky and they had like the lobster bites and there was like a speck of lobster, but it was so damn tasty. I don't care what was in it.
It's the breading.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Red Lobster biscuits.
Right. It's KFC. Chicken, grease, salt.
Right,
Everything's
right,
good.
right.
Okay, so you've. So so what other kinds of stuff are there? So not necessarily just the free stuff, but I mean you've got activities, sporting engagements, that kind of stuff. I mean, are restaurants hooking into this? Are
There's restaurants. There's also grocery where you can link directly to your Kroger or your Meijer account and download digital coupons. For
But it's all
grocery
local
shopping.
though, right? You're concentrating on local.
I'm concentrating on local, but the most of the coupons can be used nationwide.
Got
You
it.
know, your Abercrombie.
He says coupons too. I like him.
Gonna vanish him like we did.
Coupons?
He whose name must not be spoken. No, so that's cool. So I mean, and like I said, I mean, I guess that would be the big thing to me. I would think would be getting, kind of like we've talked with Annette from Yelp and getting local companies onto that platform
that is the goal.
directly. Like, is that the next big push?
That's what I would like to do. I know a lot of the local businesses, they want a paper coupon.
Right.
And that's where, we're trying to help the...
Because everybody still
Everyone
gets the
still
paper
wants
delivered.
paper,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Everybody, we get that.
And then there are some
I do.
companies that...
I get that 7
also
days a never.
Major companies like Outback.
Yeah.
Where they don't use the mobile. Like people would ask, well, why don't you have Best
They're
Buy?
still
Why
stuck
don't
in
you
the
have
80s?
Outback? Yeah, they still want the printout.
Wow.
So,
They're still doing paper flyers to advertise their events, Bob. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
So again, we touched on it.
I don't judge.
Well, we touched on it briefly, but this is all just you doing this. Like,
And this isn't your job. Like
this
you,
is-
yeah.
it's not on 9 to
Yeah,
5.
this is an app that you created on the side.
It's just a hobby because
This is just a hobby.
Yes, it initially started with I had my brother-in-law. He had a birthday coming up, and I was trying to figure out what will I do for him for his birthday. And I found out that there was an event locally where you can
These are
raise
coupons. They're as good as money.
Yeah,
Where you
it's
can
better than
raise-
getting a tie.
It's my brother. What can I do for him on the cheap?
Yeah. but it was one of the best birthdays he said he ever had because he was able to drive a Ferrari.
He needs
and
to
a
get out more.
Lamborghini For $50.
What?
Really?
Yes.
What?
I need to download this app.
And you're at an airport, so you get to beeline it. Put the pedals.
This was
in the
here?
mouth. This is here, downriver. I can't remember the name of the airport, but they have a fair once a year. And then I started putting these events out there. Then I started putting
Okay, we're going to hunt that down, and we're getting press passes. Let's just be clear.
Yep.
So I started adding the things like the A&W Root Beer National Float Day, which
Right.
is coming up this week, or August 6th. National Cheesecake Day is this Wednesday.
But I'm getting back to that. It's just you,
It's
and
just
this
me.
is it's a side job / hobby.
Yes.
How do you find the time to keep all of the deals and everything current? Because I would think that a lot of this stuff would expire weekly, daily,
It does.
monthly.
It does. It's a daily process.
So, do you get is there customer feedback? Like you said, a lot of it was by popular demand type of thing. Like,
Right.
how are you keeping tabs on all of that stuff? Your inbox must be flooded.
It is. I have a separate, email account so I can get all the discounts and deals. I scroll through that. I look through my resources, my magazines, and it really is a daily process.
Okay, so you just set aside a couple hours every day,
pretty
to
much
dedicate to do
dedicated to keeping people up to date because people I've seen them in public and they tell me they appreciate it and that they didn't realize that there were so many things that you can get for free or discounted without the hassle.
So are you measuring on the other side then, from the business point of view, how well their one coupon or ad or whatever it is coupon is doing?
I would say no, not at this point.
Ron White,
not individually managing, each individual, deal. But I take note to again what feedback I get on social media. If people seem to like Bath and Body Works free lotion, if I get tons of views on that, I make sure that when that comes out, I put that out and I push.
So the app itself is providing a mechanism just to show the server the coupon, the QR code, whatever it is
Yes.
that they need to apply the discount.
Yes.
You're not necessarily tracking the fact that they scanned it.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, correct.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It's an aggregator.
Right.
It's a good
Yeah.
thing, though. It's
No,
a great
yeah.
service.
No, which is
because
solid.
Well, I'm just trying to understand how
the
it's
time that it takes
yeah.
to pull all that stuff together is
it's
got to be
that's what I'm
just
saying. Like,
monumental.
I'm just impressed that, do you sleep?
I was going to say, he's probably the first person we've had in that gets me.
Well, we really don't get you.
Nobody really does. That's part of my charm. But so I guess maybe is that something you're looking towards? With building a community around this, that you can start getting some community managers and that kind of stuff. Maybe taking some of this off of you that way.
The long run, that would be the goal. And definitely, in order to grow in different markets, especially with listing some of the free events and opportunities, I would need to get someone in other areas and other markets to help support that. There's so much going on in Detroit. I have a small following in Memphis, in Atlanta, and it's hard to really put the focus like I do in Detroit in those areas.
Yeah, you're not
without
there.
being
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get like an RSS feed just to get that stuff pulled. You know what I mean, like the free event stuff and all that.
Well,
just to make stuff easier.
And just I'm always stunned. Like there is, I know a lot of people that have a lot of tight connections between Detroit and Atlanta for some reason. It's just there.
Families down that
Yeah.
direction, and it just I don't know, it works.
So how do people find the Cheap Chimp app?
You can find it on iTunes or the Google Play Store.
And it is the Cheap Chimp.
Right. All together, one word, the Cheap Chimp.
Or the.
Yeah, the Chimp.
where you can find coupons.
It's all about the syllable emphasis. Shut up.
The Cheap Chimp.
The Cheap Chimp, absolutely. And it's out there on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We did have a website, but
No crappy pop-ups, no crappy malware.
No.
I didn't.
See, he said we. So, do you partner with an iOS or Android developer? Is it all you doing this?
It's all me. I refer to we so that it's. I guess it seems bigger.
Well, no, because a lot.
So I can blame someone else and say, that guy.
Well, I kind of joked about it, but a lot of people don't know iOS development and Android
That's
development
actually
at the
pretty
same
brilliant.
time. So, is it you're doing both? You use
exclusively, and that's eventually I would need a team so I can. Because I do the research, I add the resources, I develop the app. It's all me. If there's
That's great.
a IT issue, it's me to fix.
Dave, I think Ken just came up with something brilliant. If somebody complains about something, just go, oh my God, our iOS developer messed it up. We got to go yell at them, even though it's us.
Oh, wait, there's a problem with the website? Oh, yeah, well yeah, our designer will go yell at
our
them.
design team. Our design team's been on this for a week. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, they're offshore.
We'll fire them.
Yeah, they're offshore. They're sleeping right now.
Offshore.
So, and I guess, so is it a free app? Is there a cost to it?
Yeah, there is a cost. It's $1.99, and that was.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I can't believe it.
But there's a reason why I chose to put $1.99.
Because you want to make money.
That too, but I want people to want to get their money back for using the app.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of apps that I get that are free.
Sure.
I download it and I never open it, never use it. And then
I've got
eventually
an
I
entire
delete it.
page of apps that
So I want people to say, I spent $1.99. Let me see if this really works. They use it one time at Kohl's, Old Navy, wherever. They get 20%.
They get their money
off,
back.
They got it back, and then you know what? They realize that it is
It's cheaper than the Sunday paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, yeah, that's $2.50 these days.
Is it $2.50?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Friday and they don't do Saturday delivery anymore. Yeah, we get Friday and Sunday paper.
I got to be honest. The only time
so we have a question: is Chimp app on Windows Phone?
No. I'm not developing.
No, Mike Dennis. It is not available on the Windows.
How did you know it was Mike?
Any plans for that, or no? Your answer was actually drowned out by their laughter. So.
not at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
you didn't want to learn a third programming language.
You and your 2% market share.
It's all about ROI. No offense, Mike. We love you, but no. So I guess what haven't we hit on yet that we should talk about when it comes to the Cheap Chimp?
There's some new features that should come out soon. One would be it's like a message board or community area where if there are deals that I miss.
Hey, I found.
Yeah, pretty much, almost like the Instagram of coupons, if you will. There's also we're constantly working to improve the GPS function so that as you enter the mall or certain restaurants, you get a notification that hey, you can save. And
So the app's geo aware of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess that's a good thing. So I mean, is it Yelp-ish where I could say, okay, find me deals on restaurants near me? Is it
not quite at that point yet?
Okay.
No, but that's something to look forward to in the future.
Okay.
As I work to develop it, like I said, it's just me. So.
Right. Yeah. Baby steps. Yeah. Again, free time.
We get the best tweet just now. Let's go listening to the IT the D show, and my wife walked in and said, "Why are Bob and Dave on our computer?"
We are in you. The call is coming from inside the house. Run.
We've taken over
your
husband's computer.
Do you even know who that is?
Yeah. Yeah, see, Nate, we've taken over your computer.
Do not attempt to adjust your controls. Nice. Okay, so future features.
Yep. And then just one more thing I want to add. Seems to be very popular with this group are the movie screenings. Does really well. And I've seen personally myself so many movies since I've started for free.
Really?
Major movies like Planet of the Apes 3D. Saw The Purge 2. I'm hoping to see Ninja Turtles also before that comes out. And it's all free. So I take my family of 4. I take
What? Really? What?
And for anyone who's listening,
I'm not going to lie. Suddenly, I'm far more intrigued.
50 cents off toilet paper, man. Free movie.
We're out of gin and toilet paper.
and for any users that are that mentioned, this show today, for August 11th in Birmingham, I have passes for Let's Be Cops, and I also have passes for Into the Storm tomorrow in Royal Oak. So if you mention that, contact me through social media. I'll try to get you passes for those.
Awesome.
How do we get you? How do we get you on Twitter?
Twitter is.
We stumped them.
I don't use Twitter that often.
I was going to say, I'm not going to lie. I searched for it. I couldn't find it.
Facebook was the Cheap Chimp app.
I just found it.
Yeah, I have to search that one. It's
the Cheap Chimp.
The Cheap Chimp.
We'll find it. We'll post it tomorrow.
At Cheap Chimp app.
Okay, sold. So yeah, we'll post it tomorrow on the recap. We appreciate you coming on, Ken. Good. Sounds like doing good stuff. This is we're gonna cut to a break real quick. Come back, segment 4. This is the IT in the D show.
We will be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
Not mad, just don't curse.
Yo, fellas, y'all ready to do this? Yeah, what's up, guys?
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
I want to figure out if Chub Rock is still alive. Is Chub Rock still alive? As
far as I know.
Did you
Wow.
know MC Breed is not, though?
Really?
Yeah.
What? I'll never forget. I was at the Post Auburn Hills. So we're doing an event there next week, and a guy comes. It was like 2002, and a guy comes up. He goes, "Yo, man, can you play some Mick Breed?" And I go, "What in the world are you?" I was like, for the one time in my life.
Yeah, it's right. Like I remember sitting in like study hall when I was in high school.
You mean detention?
Whatever. Me and Molly Ringwald and Judd Nelson. And and I had an InXS sticker on my notebook, and some freshman walked up and was like, "Dude, what's InXS?"
Get out.
Like,
seriously?
Get away from me, Schmen.
This is the.
Did you tell him to Google it?
Yeah, not that. I'm a lot older than I look.
Hey, kid,
go timeshare that.
Go ARPANET it.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't know, this is
Go to the library and
welcome
look
to
that
the
up.
fourth
This
segment.
is the world famous, ominous fourth segment of the ITV show here in the Robert A. Studios. Beautiful, Midtown Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, Dave, we're back in the Wi-Fi range, so your phone just kicked back on.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Yeah, we just kicked back in with great. Yeah, just stop.
Yeah, just go. Make that go away. Yeah, just.
So what are we doing?
Is that a Windows phone?
Who has a Windows phone?
Mike Dennis.
Mike Dennis.
The one thing we didn't talk about, and I felt like we had to, because it's 1990. And this song was number one all across the world. No, all across the world, and we all let it happen. All of us.
What song was this?
This is a stupid Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme.
That song was not number one.
It was.
It was.
It was.
And that,
in 1990.
This is so dumb.
I thought 1990 Chub Rock jumped up on the scene.
Yeah, Raphael, the leader of the group, transformed
You
from
know
the
what?
norm
Can
by
I
the
be-
nuclear goop. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
You know the whole words, don't you?
I absolutely
Ninja
do.
Turtles came out. What was I, like 13 or 12? I remember my neighbor got like the number one comic book. I'm 41. Like, I don't get it. Like, I still never get it. I never liked it. Am I the only guy?
No, I don't get
that
it.
grew up with it.
I don't get it either. I grew up with it. It was all.
I never liked it.
No, I
Never
never got
made
into
sense
it.
to
either.
me.
It's pizza and a chick
like
that has
pizza.
a weird bestiality thing with turtles. That's the
No, hold on.
But what's even stranger to me is my son is now into it, and he's 3.
I love the Ninja Turtles.
I don't
get it.
Dude,
I
they're
don't get
cool.
I had the
No,
van,
they're not.
I had
hard.
Train,
Dude, they're turtles.
Rocksteady and
They're
Bebop,
ninjas.
The foot soldiers.
The
I
fact
had it
that
all.
the fact that they're ninjas is the
Are
only
you
thing that
hearing
makes
this?
them cool.
Yeah.
He's got all the dolls. He's got everything.
I didn't have it,
Foot
but I get it,
Soldiers,
too.
Rocksteady, Bebop, Crane, Shredder, Splinter,
Casey.
the Casey Jones.
Do you still have them?
So in other
I
words,
don't still
wait,
have
wait. So you're telling us you're into it?
I'm so into it.
All right. Favorite video game character?
From the Turtle?
Yeah.
Had to be Michelangelo.
Oh, come on, man. Donatello's got the bow
He
staff.
had the bow stick.
No,
but
the
I
only
mean,
one with the
Michelangelo.
forks. What was the one with
The size.
No, the
They're-
forks.
They're size.
I always played the one with the forks.
That's those are size.
No, they're forks.
they're what your wife does whenever you speak at home. Size.
I was thinking forks. Your wife forks every time.
I want a fork on the table.
And we've completely derailed.
I want a 2 piece of toast.
That's a great joke.
Fork me, fork you.
Somebody brought up. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it on the air.
No,
It was a
don't do
great
it.
joke. Never mind. Go.
Moving right along.
Good radio, Bob. So let's see. Where do we want to dive into? We've got the one of the ones that I thought was interesting is all the crap that came out about Silicon Valley this week. So there was the Google
The
executive
TV show.
No, there was the Google executive from Dearborn that apparently died of a heroin overdose on a boat as
No, he was
administered by
killed.
an escort. Well, no, he wasn't killed. He OD'd. The escort just happened to have been there and didn't call anybody because, well, everybody. Why wouldn't you expect a hooker to save your life.
Well, it's only like the second or third time she's done this.
Right. Yeah, that was the interesting part of the story. But so the two stories that came out.
Law school, is she?
Yeah. So the two stories that came out were one about the rampant drug use culture that's out there in Silicon Valley.
Shocker.
Yeah, go figure.
Since when?
I'm going to go
Day one?
Yeah, 1987 would be my guess.
Next, you're going to say they do cocaine on Wall Street. It's crazy.
I know. Who knew?
What?
And then the sex trafficking industry. And go figure, you've got drugs and sex industry where you have a lot of lonely, horny programmers. So
they have lots of girlfriends. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they live in Niagara Falls. You just haven't met her.
Okay, the best thing that we posted on her Facebook wall in a long time was that Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, girls.
The women that are starving for attention.
Ladies, forget about Match.com.
Just forget about Match.com.
Take yourself to Comic-Con in a Princess Leia outfit. You'll be married by the end of the weekend.
You'll be married by Sunday.
Well,
That's so true.
So, but did you read the story? There's this whole backlash, and I'm not going to lie. I'm actually intrigued, and I know a few folks that do it, and I want to try to get somebody here in the studio. There's kind of the cosplay is not consent backlash that's going on about cons right now.
What?
Where
consent for what?
Well, so chicks in cosplay costumes are getting molested, groped, all that kind of stuff.
Wait. So if you show up in a spandex skin tight outfit and wearing nothing but a bra on your top, you're not you think you're going to be fine?
Oh, well, okay.
You should be.
You should be. You shouldn't have to deal with some asshole grabbing your ass.
Right.
Even though its ratio is like 250 to 1.
Yeah. But so the story that one of the stories that came out of Comic-Con that was just this weekend is Adrienne Curry was hanging out with a group of her friends and some.
She's still relevant.
Yeah, apparently. And some. Well, dude, for Comic-Con she is. Have you seen the outfit she wears?
No.
But no. So
Kinda
she was
my point.
she was hanging out with a bunch of people, and some guy came up and like literally stuck his hand
Groped her?
down one of her friend's pants.
What?
And so she was dressed as like old 1960s Catwoman and had a legitimate bullwhip with her. Chased
She
this
did
guy
not.
down and beat the ever living crap out of
That's
him.
Good for her.
Awesome. good for her,
Mama. Hey, before we forget, by the way, we have we still have a last guest. Are we finishing up with Adrienne Curry stories?
No, we're good.
Right.
We can segue wherever you want. Go ahead, Bob. That's a
No.
graceful segue. Wherever you want to go.
I just figured I'd say my Gilbert Gottfried impersonation.
I
There.
knew where he was going. I was going to let it go for another 2 minutes.
So, Chris, with that graceful introduction,
drugs, sex trafficking, and women getting molested at Comic-Con. Where do you fit into the picture?
Well, he's running a SaaS operation, so
Chris is dressed like Adrienne Curry too today.
Oh,
which
he
is
is.
nice.
This is good.
the Princess Leia costume you wore in the
Very
studio.
good outfit.
Yeah.
What are you doing later?
So you're starting a startup.
Yes.
Is that what
that's true.
startups do? They start up.
They start up. They drink lots of coffee. They drink Red Bull.
They start up. We are in the Red Bull phase right now. That's for sure.
So you were telling me it's software as a service. You were telling me during one of the breaks. So what do you guys doing?
Yeah, we're called Movement. Essentially, what we do is we solve the problem of presentation files being everywhere within your company, your own individual hard drive.
Well, you're telling me it's kind of like Evernote for PowerPoint, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So you can imagine, the last time you sat down to create a presentation, half the stuff you needed was on your neighbor's hard drive. The rest of it's locked in the labyrinth, otherwise known as SharePoint.
Or a sales guy like me that has 3,700,000 PowerPoints scattered everywhere from every day.
3,700.
Absolutely.
So 3.7 million.
Yes.
Is that kind of like 11,600?
Right. It's the Aboriginal method of counting. One too many.
Right.
So, Bob, imagine instead of having that, smattering of presentations everywhere, imagine, sitting down to PowerPoint. Every time you go to use it, you're syncing back to the cloud, so all your presentations are stored there. We're automatically tagging them, so they're all in one place. You're forming a team around all the other people within your company.
You are thinking? What are you thinking about?
You are thinking about the cloud.
Thinking about the cloud? Sorry, German joke. Go ahead.
My last name's White, so I'll take all the German jokes I get. But,
this is a German Coast Guard? What are you Mayday, we are sinking. Sorry.
We let the guests talk, for crying out loud.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, essentially, take away what you have today, and instead replace it with, being able to find the content that you actually need from across your team, across, your corporate marketing department, across vendors that you interface with, from the outside world, all from one single platform.
So is this? Can you beta this now? Are you guys live? What stage are you at?
Well, as you know, I came here this morning or this afternoon kind of on a chance encounter. Love to be here, but right now we're purely in dev mode. We've been talking to just a couple.
They're still in cocktail napkin phase.
We're laying code actively, and we're talking to a couple customers or potential customers, trying to refine the idea as we believe we should.
If you want honest feedback, definitely the three of us.
Yeah,
I
can
fire
tell. I can tell. We'll have a whole session after this.
No, honestly, if you need beta, we'd love to. 'Cause, I mean, especially, I don't want to say I got an issue with PowerPoint, but yeah, I have PowerPoint sprawl coming out of my hoo-hoo. It'd be nice to Jeff.
Absolutely.
So when you first started describing the app, my first thought was SlideShare or Slide Deck. This is nothing like that, right? This is a private. Like your data is not going to be out there elsewhere. This is going to be in the cloud, quote unquote, but still secured within a company extranet. Like,
well, essentially,
it's not going to be a public viewable type of thing.
There's a public and there's a private side to this, right? So essentially, you can imagine you're setting up your own private cloud for yourself, your team, your corporate entity, right? But also, you can share to the external world any of the presentations that you're creating, right?
Okay.
Because we're always interfacing
kind of like what
with
SlideShare
clients.
does.
Exactly.
Okay.
And similar to SlideShare, one of the kind of unique features is that we allow you to subscribe to other people out there, right? So if you're a vendor trying to reach, 1,000 salespeople in your sales channel, they can subscribe to you. And what's fairly interesting about it, or definitely unique compared to some of the other tools out there, if you're a vendor distributing content, we can actually help you update that content when people go to use outdated content. It can be flagged as saying...
Like a push notification.
Exactly. You may want to replace this 2-year-old slide with the old logo with our brand new, gleaming slide deck.
Chris, do me a favor. There's
like our updated sponsor deck every 2 weeks.
Yeah, can we do that? Like every time Dave changes it, like
Bob.
I change
it's not
it.
Dave.
Okay.
So Chris, do me a favor. There's a couple
Same
apps
difference.
that have come out on LinkedIn. I think one's called like Domo, and another one is
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yes, that's what it's called, Domo. But another
Arigato.
one is like Spreadsheet or something. It's a spreadsheet, some kind of name. But when you
Excel?
Yeah, it's an no.
Excel is a spreadsheet.
It's an Excel
Lotus
plug-in.
It's
a dashboard.
It's a dashboard. They're both dashboard. One's for
1, 2, 3.
But their sales model sucks my ass. I downloaded
to the fourth segment.
I downloaded a demo, and within 5 minutes, I get a phone call from a sales guy both times. No, it's true. I get a phone call from a sales guy. First thing the guy says is, "How big's your organization?" I tell him we're under 10 people. We're a startup, and he goes, "Well, call me when you can afford it because we're probably not priced for you." I'm like, dude, you're a plug-in for Excel. You're a dashboard plug-in like this, and you're
sandlering me.
You completely sandlered me. Like you can't afford it. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you know what I can afford? And now you're insulting. And now I get an email from them twice a day. It's the worst.
Still?
Does it just remind you that you can't afford them?
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually the
Hey,
clip.
you still can't afford
Tell
them.
you what, call me back when you can.
It's actually the clip from Eddie Murphy Raw with him standing on stage just going,
can't
"You can't afford it.
Yeah,
you
right.
can't afford it."
But it's not even that. It's just like, don't flaunt like free downloads and demos and then have a crappy sales guy going, "I can't afford it." Like, make, again, if you need help on the testing, talk to these two clowns. You need help on the sales side, talk to me, please. I'm begging.
Absolutely.
So
No,
we
I
have a
appreciate
question
that.
from the audience. What makes it more useful than SharePoint and OneDrive for business?
Yeah, I think it's the searchability, right? First and foremost, we tag everything at a slide level, right? The content that you're
When did
typically...
we get so interactive?
Yeah, this is interesting.
It's our best Twitter day ever.
I know.
I'm telling you. Well, people are actually listening and tweeting back.
I know.
Typically when you're looking for content, you're thinking back to that one slide that you saw 2 years ago in your boss's
So that is your
presentation, right?
differentiating factor then, because every other PowerPoint app, they're just presentate like the whole deck. You're
Right.
talking about page by page by page.
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
the individual slides, but it's also the way in which you're working with the platform. We work across 3 different essentially applications. A PowerPoint add-in, right? So that's one of the ways we're really different than other people. As you're creating the presentation, you're actually you're surfacing related content on a slide-by-slide level where you need to use it. So you're not having to go out to SharePoint and rummage through 50 files that are named something similar. As I was mentioning, we also have a web platform and a mobile app as well, so you can get that same content on the go.
Very cool.
Can I ask a question?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
How did you recognize the problem that made you want to fulfill this?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Just like Ken, essentially is born out of personal experience, right? So I've been in the past essentially helping manage sales forces of over 100 people, right? And it's very hard to get everybody talking on the same page.
No.
That never happens.
When
we
you
can't even keep the three of us from killing each other.
So think of the creativity in this room expressed on PowerPoint, right?
Sure.
So you've got
Yeah.
all these wonderful individuals trying to get creative and ultimately end up off message. So the real experience was trying to get a sales force that large to use and reuse the best content within the organization.
So, and how are those initial conversations going? You said you're out there talking to some initial customers. How's the feedback coming so far?
Yeah, they're going pretty well. Actually, especially one of the major vendors that we're taking a look at, they're interested in sponsoring it for their channel because of just that issue, right? Every year they spend millions on marketing their latest products, but when they go out in the field and work with their channel reps, they're seeing out-of-date content. So for them, the real plus is being able to update that content through the cloud. Every time that person goes to use something outdated, they're getting something pushed and preventing that big problem for them. So it's going fairly well. We're still at the beginning phases, absolutely. We're loving being a startup in Detroit here, but we're definitely at the nascent phases, and I appreciate you guys being willing to help out.
Yeah. Where's home base right now? Are you guys still virtual, or are you guys?
Yeah, still virtual. My main co-founder is out in Colorado right now, but actually,
I'm sorry. Who? Where? Who?
Yeah, who? Yeah, exactly.
Out in Denver. We're luring him back
IT and the
home.
little D. That's Denver.
Yeah.
We're luring him back
Lowercase
home,
d.
but yeah, we're looking to get him back here around October, and really we're looking for an accelerator. So if anyone has any ideas, please contact me at chrisweitzel@gmail.com.
Because they know how to spell Weitzel.
Hopefully that's in the show notes. W-E-I.
Dave, do your thing.
T-Z-E-L.
There you go.
All right, and so so with an accelerator, like what are you looking for? From someone to hook in with.
Yeah, I think for an accelerator, in some respects, it's a number of things. First and foremost, it's the energy, it's the accountability, being around kind of like-minded people. I think is very healthy for a startup. Right.
I recommend you hanging out at Bamboo as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a great group. They're all startup, entrepreneur minded. Great group of people.
Great. No, that sounds like the place we want to be.
Just don't eat at the place across the street from there.
The hotel?
No, the
Centra.
That place you made us go to?
I didn't make us. It was recommended. It was recommended.
$70 20-minute checkout. Is that what it was?
Yes, you did.
It was recommended
That's
to us.
all on you.
It was
never going again.
We could have had shawarma.
Before you showed up, it was recommended to us, and yes, we could have had shawarma. So I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Do you get your shawarma from that
No,
dude,
Bucharest.
Bucharest Grill.
Okay.
Bucharest Grill inside a Park Bar.
That's
Yeah.
the only
Sorry, I was
shawarma
trying
town.
to plug that L guy, but I don't know his name. Bucharest? Okay.
Phrasing.
Okay.
You want to plug that Al guy?
You just became part of our intro, by the
way. Should I say it more clearly?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to plug that L guy. Thank you.
You want to try a third time?
It feels so good to say it, but
it just comes out wrong every single time.
No, Bucharest grilled chicken shawarma grape leaves is probably the greatest meal in this town.
You can't beat it.
Really can't beat it
at all.
No.
So Matt, I know one of the things we wanted to double back with is you were talking about kind of one of the things you're trying to do is kind of change the way people at the C-level think.
Sure. I'm just happy you didn't say something about that L guy.
No, I
Yeah,
was.
you know what you just did. So
I was.
let's talk about that instead.
I was trying to gracefully segue away from that, but I mean, is there something we should know? Like, should I be combing your friends list for anybody named Al? And we're not here to judge.
Okay, no.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's all good.
What's your favorite Paul Simon song?
Hey, they make his and his towels now.
Okay.
So no, I mean, like, how does that culture, like, how is that working out for you? I mean, how's that culture shift happening? with the sea level, not Al.
Not with Al. Okay.
Right.
Okay, without Al. I'm working with a lot of CIOs, getting together on a monthly basis, doing kind of a peer-to-peer group, and most of the like-mindedness of it is these guys that are really thinking about doing something different, being the change agent. Not sticking with the stodgy old elements of IT, really thinking about business, really thinking about how they're gonna change things, and really realizing that if they're a company that makes washing machines, or they're a company that does consulting work, or they're a company that does any sort of manufacturing is always easy for me to help them relate it. But it's like, if you can do $2 million in savings or $4 million in savings from out of IT, that money hits directly to the bottom line. That's like selling 5 million washers or 50 million screws or whatever it is that they sell.
It's funny you mentioned that, Matt, because I know you started that the group to get the kind of the CIO community together. That conference that we went to, that for the CIO community, I had 2 people approach me going, I want to talk to you more about how to get the edginess of your group into the C-level community. And I kind of looked at him and laughed. I go, why? Is it this all the time? It's boring, like coffee talk garbage all the time? Like,
I think it is.
Was the answer yes?
Did you point out to them that we tried that?
No, I said we still can, but I go, I just don't know what that means.
No, it's a lot of, be done with the IT speak, right? Let's talk normal, and let's make some things happen.
I think too many people him and Ha and go, oh my god, it's so and so.
Right.
What do I want to talk to you. Like, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely. I think that you have to realize that these guys are here, working in a business, trying to make a dynamic change, especially the ones that I really enjoy working with. And if you talk to them like that, if you're a business guy, right? If you're an entrepreneur talking to them, that's refreshing to them. If you're somebody who's just peddling boxes to them, they're not really interested in speaking with you.
Well, again, what's the value of this conversation? I think if you can't, and everybody talks about the elevator pitch, and I had an argument today about the elevator pitch, and I think if you can't exude value in 10 seconds in your conversation, you need to move along.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to figure out what that conversation is.
You shouldn't be worrying about exuding value in the first 10 seconds of your conversation. You should still be figuring out if there's any value to the conversation at all, let alone whether.
I like to figure out, do I like talking to this guy?
Right.
Right. I mean, I don't really like to talk about my company as first and foremost, because if I can't have a normal conversation with somebody.
Yeah, if you can't connect to them, right?
Well,
exactly.
You're not going to kick it off.
I gave my card to somebody, and IT and the well, what do you do? And I go, oh, this is going to be good. And I just sat down and I told the story.
I drink beer and laugh.
I told the story. It took about.
I bring IT wisdom to the masses.
I exude.
We sit around and talk about QA testing
today on the IT and the D show.
No, I pulled out the DAC.com bullshit generator and I just kept hitting buttons, and I exude e-commerce intelligences.
I bring together cross-functional teams from across a variety of global organizations.
Wow!
And change paradigms.
Did you go into a zen-like state right there?
Man.
No, but
I just saw black.
But I told the story and it actually worked, and I'm like, okay, I guess I passed the bullshit test, right? And I think that's the one key thing is when you talk to people, I don't care who it is, just passing the bullshit test and not saying you're crossing platform paradigm technologies. What?
Pivoting. For the record, I have no idea what any of that means.
Pivot. We're not pivoting.
Pivot. No, we wrote a blog last week called "What is it that you do here?" Because somebody, I think someone sent Jeff a LinkedIn request.
Oh my God! They used every
acronym and buzzword.
It
was a 45-word summary.
I had no idea what the guy did.
It said nothing.
It said nothing. And it was literally a paragraph long. We copy-pasted it into the blog, and it was not modified whatsoever.
The one I'm still trying to figure out was, what does NPLS mean?
MPLS?
I don't know. M or N? I keep hearing it.
M or N?
I don't know.
MPLS is multi-layer packet switching.
Okay. I've heard that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it means.
It's just Ethernet, dude. It's ones and zeros going across a different way.
Okay. I don't ever say that. I don't ever say that to the people.
You have no reason to say that to anybody. What is No, it's just
You let the engineers do that.
Isn't that the system that realtors use to list properties?
No, that's
That's the
MLS.
I actually know what that is.
Yeah.
I've sold a house.
I don't even know
before.
what that means.
It's the internets. You gotta get them pipes with the
You gotta
internets.
get the pipes over there. Too much consuming going on up there.
Are we? What? Oh my God! It's. Are we at the end?
No,
We are, but we don't really have to be because there's really nobody here, and we can just keep yakking if you'd like to.
I would like to. We have the keys to the kingdom, do we not?
Matt, you want
We
to talk
do.
more about MPLS?
I wanted to look up Al's last name, actually.
Which one?
Ken, you got anything else to
from
add?
the shawarma shop.
Not at the moment.
You
What
can call
are
me.
you
You
do-
can call me Al. I remember Weird Al TV.
Dave, what are you doing over there?
I'm pulling up the person. First off, I had to find You Can Call Me Al.
Can you-
And so we're just going to let that play in the background for a moment.
Can you turn it down a little bit?
No, we're going to let that play in the background for a moment.
All right.
As I read the description that was shot to you, which is, this person is a meticulous employee who has proved through various efforts to deduct and reduce issues while maintaining exceptional subject knowledge in an ever-changing field. Suited for short-term growth, as most ideas for process improvement quickly set new standards for production levels, and is steadily able to provide coworkers, customers, and management solutions to problematic situations. Being completely self-sustained allows for the ability to deliver during high-pressure deadlines, and expertise at soothing composure into customers. Provides an equilibrium between public relations and business needs.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Pass the Tylenol. Is that for? Did you read that for real?
That's verbatim.
That's verbatim. That's the
Oh
actual
my
thing.
God.
Wait,
Really?
That's awesome.
Really? You know what? That guy's gonna get called out by name. He's gonna be depanced in public. Just knock it off.
We're going to break our rule of 3 right off the bat.
Do you still have his name?
Oh, totally I do.
Oh my God!
I still have the email.
He forwarded us the invite. We have his name.
I don't have the invite. Oh my God! That guy.
He doesn't read.
He needs to be depanced publicly. just knock it off. This isn't 2001 or 97 or whatever. Oh my God, that's painful.
Well, I'll tell you what. Do we want to take a quick break and come back for a 5th segment?
No.
Just
Hell
keep
no.
yakking.
We'll see you next week.
Well, let's just keep yakking.
What?
Bob wants to go home.
Well, where do you have to be?
Duffy's? I don't know.
Long John Silver's, now that we know what that is.
A different bar.
Did they have a midnight drive-through?
I wish.
So let's see. What haven't we got to that we wanted to yak about? So there was Bose is suing Beats by Dre.
Yeah, that was.
I thought you were talking about my wife.
Why? Because they're upset because Apple didn't buy them.
No, because they were waiting to see if anybody was going to buy Beats by Dre, and now they're suing them over their noise canceling technology that infringes upon their patents.
Because they got $3 billion.
And why wouldn't you?
Because they're upset that Apple didn't buy them.
Well, yeah, always possible.
Yeah.
So that was a fun one. The other one was, where else did we want to yak through? Oh yeah, so the one I thought was interesting was, so a guy basically proved that Verizon is throttling Netflix.
Yeah, how did he prove that, by the way?
It went through a VPN.
So what he did is he basically had a download test. He had a speed tester set up and running over his normal, FiOS connection.
Yeah.
And it was just
FiOS.
Whatever.
Same difference.
InXS, INXS, same
Is this
difference.
are we talking about MLPS again?
Right, I think so.
MPLS?
And so it
POS?
throttled to no end. And so then he hooked in through a VPN connection, made the same connection to Netflix, and it was like literally 20 times faster. So, I mean, it gets into that whole net neutrality, you're screwing people, stop it.
Time Warner is saying that Google and Netflix are the enemy and not, they're trying to point fingers.
The funny part of it is...
Who owns the pipes?
Well, no, so the funny part
Who
of it
owns the pipes?
is you've also got Comcast and those guys that are yakking, they're basically saying, oh, well, we're afraid that Netflix is going to come back and charge us.
Oh, give me a break.
Because,
Give me a frickin' break.
because just like, we have to pay licensing fees to ABC and NBC and HBO and all those
Whatever.
guys.
The
We're
dog-
afraid they're going to charge us.
The dog is backed into the corner. Comcast and Time Warner and Charter knows their days are numbered. And it's
they know their days are numbered for a long time.
The more these Roku and Hulu and all these
Amazon
apps come
TV,
out,
Apple
Amazon,
TV, all that
and
crap.
all you got to buy is the internet pipe, and you don't have to buy the crappy cable.
Well, and the correlation of that is then you've got Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I think it was Wilson, North Carolina, 2 towns that are actually petitioning, or they have petitioned the FCC now to step in and override and overrule their state laws that prohibit community-owned and controlled gigabit fiber from expanding.
What?
So wait, they're stopping Muni?
State law. So here's the deal.
I don't understand what you just said.
So state laws are prohibiting the expansion and growth of community-owned gigabit fiber. So in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
But what about so the ILEC?
So in Chattanooga, Tennessee, there is a local consortium that has gotten together and brought in gigabit fiber.
A co-op or an ILEC?
All right, so
co-op.
This group of people is like trying to fight the man.
Right, and they would like to now expand, but because the Comcasts, the AT&Ts,
they're putting pressure on them.
Because they have lobbyists, there are already laws on the books that keep them from expanding their services.
They're putting pressure on it. Yeah,
and so now they're asking the FCC to step in and basically say,
they're
no,
trying to squelch it. Yeah, they're trying to squelch
those
it.
laws are unconstitutional. You're fighting fair trade.
Again, I go back to my thing. Who owns the pipes? Like if it's a monopoly, right? Like if you're not allowing me to put in my own pipe, ding. Yeah, exactly. Bell. I mean, how is
then we're probably married. Hey.
How is that not illegal? How is that not a government-run monopoly?
So the ILEC
right?
is the last bastion of American freedom. Is that what you're saying?
Apparently,
those farmer telcos. There's like 20 a state. If you don't know what they are, there's. Did you know that those exist?
What?
ILECs.
What is an eyelash? My eyelash? Is that what you said?
Part of the MPLS.
No, it's an independent local exchange carrier. There's like 20 of them in Michigan.
Okay.
They got exclusive rights to their town. There's
so they're off the grid, but on the grid. So
they're off. The bells can't get in their town, so they own the whole town as far as
own the Chiefs.
Exactly,
So,
they own all the copper.
So
and the
Podunk,
fiber.
upstate Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, I'll give you a list of them. It's you don't even know they exist. The towns are like.
So how does that work then? Like, so if you're a resident of that town, what do you?
You have to buy from them.
What do you subscribe to?
Them.
So, but do they have contracts with ESPN or ABC to
Yes.
get their content?
Yep. They do it their way.
How do they do it? And yet this company or this consortium in
It's a
Tennessee-
co-op. ILECs were grandfathered in the old when they broke up Ma Bell.
Wait, grandfathered into what?
When they broke up Ma Bell, the 18,
Yeah.
they were grandfathered in.
When they broke up the last monopoly,
Right, exactly.
which has
That's kind of
subsequently
my
created
point.
all these monopolies.
Right. Oh yeah, that's the best.
Centralization, decentralization.
That's
Right.
the
That
best.
happens every 10 years.
It's the best YouTube video ever. What happened to Ma Bell? And then when they got rid of the CLECs because they changed the whatever the payment was that made it
So ridiculous.
not profitable to be a CLEC. We should have Yanni in here for that because he broke up his CLEC for that. So yeah, the CLECs are all gone because of this law, but the ILECs never got touched.
How many of them are there?
In the U.S.?
No. Just in Michigan, for example.
I think there's like 18 or 20.
All right. They're all grandfathered in.
They're all grandfathered in.
They're not in any major metropolitan area.
Oh God, no,
Yeah.
no! They're in the middle of Shitsville.
Well, but some of it probably comes back to what was it? Last October, the guy we had in here from the Great Lakes Tech Show.
Yeah, he's involved with all of them.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hooked it because that was his whole thing was remote connectivity and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, yeah,
That's right. Yeah. Steve, is that his name? Anyways, it doesn't
Scott.
matter.
Scott.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm sure he's hooked in with them.
Okay.
What else did we have? We had so everybody's complaining about there's nobody with STEM degrees out there in the market, and but the stat that was interesting is that so more than half the people that wind up graduating with STEM degrees
Are unemployed.
don't go into STEM fields
Because they can't find a job.
because they go into just jobs in other areas. They graduate. Well, it's like a buddy of mine that I've had for got years. TJ. He's got a PhD in advanced theoretical nuclear physics. Can't find a job in a lab anywhere, so he's off doing other stuff.
Why you get a PhD in advanced physics, nuclear? What?
I don't know. He smoked a lot of pot. I don't really know how that happened. It is what it is. But no, I mean that's the
majored in Sanskrit, a 5,000-year-old dead language. Latin, the best I can do.
Yeah, majored in Aramaic. Who knew? But no, I mean it just I thought it was interesting because we've had recruiters in here and we've had that's always the conversation is there aren't enough people out there with STEM degrees to fill these needs, and while they are, they're just choosing not to go to work for you or in those fields or for whatever reason. I mean I thought that was an interesting one that was going out.
I hate
There's got to be a disconnect there.
No, I hate to paint a broad brush. It's one of those things where either you get another job offer from someone else. Again,
it's called competition.
Look at the people that were getting in for recruiter jobs that have interior design degrees. You know what I mean? Not everyone goes in. You got a stupid degree for what you do.
True.
I mean, you majored in biochem theater. And look what you're
biochem and theater,
and
not biochem theater.
Actually, it sounded better when it was biochem theater.
Yeah, exactly. To blend or not to blend.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. This is Can we wrap this thing up?
He wants to go to Duffy's.
I do.
We actually had a couple of people online saying, "No, keep yakking."
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then fine. Never mind then. Screw Bob.
So, no.
Figuratively.
If you're interested, though, I can hook you up with Al.
The other one, we've talked about Tor a few times, the Onion Router Network, and so Russia has basically come out, and I just thought it was an interesting conversion, that it was like 3 million rubles, which basically boiled down to $110,000 for whoever can break the Tor protocol and allow people to track users.
I'm actually shocked that hasn't happened already. The Tor network is made up of black hat hackers, is it not?
Yes.
So,
but it's made up of a bunch of black hat hackers who don't trust each other.
Right. That's what I mean.
And so that's where all the different layers of anonymity come in.
But all it takes is one to be really pissed off and say, you know what, screw you guys, I'm going home, and release all the code.
Okay, but even release all the code, you can only release the code, and that's the
Is that the whole point?
The double blind that's in there is it's not one layer of abstraction between you and I. It's 1,000 layers of abstraction, and you can compromise the one that you hook into all you want to,
and that gets you nothing.
They just remove it from the Tor network. It stops being a Tor node, and then you're gone.
So just
you're a Tor node.
Is that all you have to add?
That's all I got.
Sharknado, Tor node, who knows?
So just random aside question: why wasn't the internet in general set up that way?
Because nobody thought about it. That's one of the inherent flaws of the internet as it exists today is that it was designed by, Tim Berners-Lee. as forward thinking of a guy as he was. Yeah.
Stop.
He was an academic.
Slap you.
And the whole point behind at the time the World Wide Web was to share information. So all of those protocols, whether it was www or FTP or WACE or Gopher or NNTP, all of them were designed for the open sharing of information. The concept of keeping things private was the antithesis of everything that was supposed to be what the internet was about.
Yeah.
And so that's why.
My favorite picture of the internet is still from 1967. It's got 3 lines going from Palo Alto to DC and
probably 84. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the DARPANET, back when it was just universities, back when it was just government funded. It was 3. Literally, the internet. Was
there were
3
3 lines.
3 lines. That's it. We're done.
Apparently, Bob's done. He doesn't want to play anymore.
Blame it on me.
That's right.
All right. So, just to quickly recap. So, we've got our event on Thursday, the 21st. We have a great job hunting, IT, networking, job search skills event taking place at New Horizons Computer Learning Centers on the 14th with Brightwing. Again,
Pink Slip Party.
The Pink Slip Party on September 18th. I was getting there. Thanks, Bob.
Anything
else?
2014.
Thursday.
Yeah, that would be
September 18th.
A few weeks from now.
2014.
5 p.m. Not a.m.
p.m.
5:01.
No.
In Detroit.
Detroit,
Michigan.
Michigan.
Not Minnesota.
Not
Lake
St. Andrews
Detroit.
at the Majestic.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, not St. Andrews.
Yes.
So again, thanks to our guests for coming out. Matt from Resource Partners, it was great having you out, man. Thanks for coming out and
Thanks
bringing
a
us
lot,
up to
guys.
speed. And then Ken, hopefully we can help get the word out about Cheap Chimp, and maybe you can. Who knows? Maybe this could become a full-time thing for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Make sure you like me on www.facebook/CheapChimp, and that's it.
I'm pretty sure you forgot a .com and a slash in there somewhere, but we'll have that in the recap for you. And then Chris, thanks for coming out, man. Good luck with the startup. Hope everything goes well. Glad to hear things are kicking off the ground for you.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
So that's it. You can find us out at itandthed.com, facebook.com/itandthed, Twitter @itandthed, and all of this will be out in the recap whenever it gets live. May or may not be tonight. Who knows?
This was episode 52 of IT and the D Show.
Beat it.
That was my line. Crap.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Look out, Flash!
Flash! Don't move! Stay where you are!
Long live Flash! You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth, Ruth.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
How much scotch did you drink that night, by the way?
Half a bottle.
Okay, then shut the hell up.
You're in your underwear. I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Bear me.
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet?
I may have to wipe the geek off. I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut. Woo!
This is the ladies' man.
Guess Captain Soundboard doesn't know how to run the soundboard.
Shut up. Stop talking.
I'm so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Hell yeah.
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
You're not very informative, but wow, are you entertaining.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.